Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live HOWLERCON broadcast of Stydiacast. I'm Rachel. I'm Rongasm on Tumblr.
And I'm also named Rachel, but you can find me at It's Always Lydia on Tumblr.
And I'm Maggie, and you can find me at Registering Banshee on Tumblr.
My friend Sophie just texted me asking me why we aren't live yet. So, Sophie, fight me. I hope that you see this, Sophie. Okay.
She better.
Okay. So we're gonna be answering. No, we're not answering questions. We're getting asked questions, and no, we are.
Yeah, we are. We're answering questions.
This is why we have Rosemary. This is literally
She
why
edits
we have
all
Rosemary.
this bullshit. Yeah, we're gonna probably swear. Sorry.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
gonna
not,
happen.
not rated G.
Have a potty
No.
mouth.
Neither is Stydiacast in general, but definitely not for language in this one.
Also, like knowing myself and Maggie, we're gonna like go off into like Stydia sex tangents. So
Also, we're right outside of an ice machine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Shout out to Motel California.
shout out to
for
Jane the Virgin.
for both of them destroying ice machines for the general populace. Thanks.
General populace, thanks. Anyways, so let's get started on the questions if that's okay.
Thank
with
you for
too.
sending them in, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you. And you can send more. Rachel will be checking them on her phone if you want to.
All right.
Okay.
Delegate.
The first question is, so many people say that because Styles took the red string off her pinky, they're not soulmates, but I just don't understand that. Like, have they shown the red string other times as well? They have, sorry. I feel like him taking the string off her pinky was like not as symbolic as some people would like to say it is.
I think mostly the aunties are like, it's not this because he took it off. But yeah, I have to call bullshit on that. Like, I think that
It's not that deep, guys.
no, I think he's just like,
If anything, he's taking something unsolved away from her. So like things
Yeah.
are sort of becoming more solid and concrete and solved with them. If you want to really, really go in and say the red string means something in regards to the two of them in that scene, as opposed to she's like, I fucked up, red string on my finger.
You know what? He also takes off the chords in 516, and like no one's talking about that.
yeah,
so-
I think like when she is talking like, oh, I got you in trouble, she's like in a state of like, her mindset is just like not anywhere stable. And I feel like him like unwinding that string is like kind of like relax, like it's all gonna be okay.
It's
Like,
unwinding
let me
her
explain.
stress.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like here's how I feel about it, and you don't have to worry because I feel this way, and that's okay.
Yeah. The dialogue in that scene as well is just so, and Rachel will easily
Quote it word for word.
Yeah, like, and talk your ear off
This is
about
my
it.
all-time favorite
Yeah,
Stydia
like,
scene
it's
ever.
so good for them as two characters separate and together that like who cares
Yeah.
if he's unwinding a string? They're in love, guys.
She is in love. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I reference musicals like all the time. I'm really sorry.
This actually just reminds me of like I did like a
I'm
howler.
like looking at you in the screen.
I did like a Stydiacast like live tweet a while ago, and I was like, how many times can like Stydia shippers bring up the galvanized scene?
I'm glad
Like,
it was
we
our
should start-
first ask. That was really like
Yeah.
in theme for this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think we bring up Galvanized like at least once a podcast.
Yeah.
I like make sure to bring up
I was gonna
Galvanized
say,
in everything.
you
I
mean-
write.
Especially this one.
You bring
Mhm.
up galvanized, and
Yeah.
then other people will also reference it.
Mhm.
Listen.
It's true.
Okay. So Anonymous says, I was wondering, when do you think Styles gave up on getting Lydia? I don't think he 100% gave up. He never stopped having feelings for her, but it seemed like he just decided to move on because he didn't know how she felt or something. Like, do you think there was a specific point in season 3 where he kind of gave up on the idea of being with Lydia romantically? I wondered if it was after the kiss because maybe he thought it didn't mean much to her.
Trick question. Do we think he gave up on Lydia? The answer is no, he never did.
That's like the
Because
hardest
of Styles.
part about that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, the other thing is that like there is a point where I think around 3, like during 3A, I think there was a part of Styles, and like probably 3B to like go with that. He didn't think that he was ever going to be able to be with her, so I think that he like did try to back off, but like he didn't really give up. It was like he told himself he was giving up.
I would say it's
That's
more of
your
a back
headcanon,
off
yeah.
as opposed to
Yeah.
I'm
That is my
giving up.
headcanon.
Mhm.
That's why I said it. All the opinions expressed here are not the opinions of Team Wolf. They are the opinions of the individual.
Jeff Davis stopped responding to our text messages long ago. And frankly, I don't want to be arrested if I ever try to go to California. So
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
that too. But for me, it's definitely the best way I can describe it is he decided to take a step back, and it just so happened that while he was doing that, he fell into the relationship with Malia, and obviously that made him happy. He wasn't gonna turn that down, especially because of what had happened at the end of 3B with Allison's death. So that was like not, this is never gonna happen. It was mostly like a series of events piling on top of each other where it was definitely not gonna happen right now.
Yeah.
But season 5 especially really cemented the fact that despite all the stepping back, Styles still has feelings for her.
Well, 504 was like instrumental in that. Like
Yes.
it was a pivotal moment where like we, the audience, and Styles' character,
Are
like
clued
both
in.
realized that Styles is like hella not over Lydia and like just isn't going to be anytime soon. I'm like nervous that like a Styria shipper is gonna like knock on our door and be like, no!
We hear you talking about Styles and Lydia. Can you
I have like
down?
my opinion of like Styles getting over Lydia is like I think that he just kind of matured from the second season to like the third season.
Absolutely.
Like in the second season, he's like, you know, he's still got the buzz cut. Like he's very much so immature. And in the third season, he really grows into himself, like literally like his hair for one. But I think that's just him like realizing like, you know, like I'm hanging out with this girl a lot. Like maybe I can't like constantly drop these jokes that like I'm madly in love with her. That's how I see it. He's just like, you know, growing more mature in his relationships with those people around him and himself.
And like as for the kiss, I honestly think like the fact that he said, "Why'd you do that?" instead of "How'd you do that?" Like he wasn't asking. No, other way around. Guys,
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Say what?
He said, "How'd you do that?" instead of "Why'd you do that?" And actually, one of my friends texted me and was like, "Are you drunk?" And I'm like, "I'm sober AF, just stupid." He said, "What? How'd you do that?"
How did you get
How
me
did
to
and like
fall out of the panic
fact that he
attack?
didn't ask her like, "Why'd you kiss me?" Like, is it because you got a thing for me? Like, he knew it wasn't. It
Or
was
like,
like
to be mean, like, why did you kiss me? You know I like you, but you obviously don't think anything like that about me.
almost feel like Jeff wanted him to play it that way, and I think that like Dylan,
Which has
changed the
been
way
like
he's playing
sort
it.
of confirmed by Holland. She said it was initially scripted an entirely different way, but her and Dylan did it the way that we saw it in the final take, and that's what they ended up going with. So God bless.
God bless the maturity of
Yeah.
Styles Selinsky.
And
That feels weird to say.
yeah.
Okay. You Remember Me One said, "Hey girls, for the Q&A, I'd like to know the story behind your URLs. Also, can you quote your favorite Stydia scene ever?"
Ooh, I don't like
The URLs are so much easier though.
Okay, let's do both. Start.
Okay, so with mine, I had a different URL. It was Sparks Scarlet or Scarlet Sparks. And I remember really wanting a Teen Wolf one because that was primarily why I joined Tumblr. And so it was racking my brain. It's Lydia Martin was taken. A bunch of other ones that were similar to that was taken. So I decided to go with It's Always Lydia because this was before season 5 started, I think. So that was kind of...
It was definitely way before I started.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, this works because like that's genuinely how I feel about Stydia. Like even though as far as we knew Styles and Malia were still going strong, it's always Lydia. Like she's always gonna be top in everything as well. So it's
Listen,
I'm not even gonna say it. It's fine.
no,
I meant
no,
in
it's casual.
academics. I meant academically and
Yeah, so do we.
socially.
totally. We were talking about that too.
Yeah.
No,
These
yep.
guys think it's hilarious. that
No,
people are smart.
academics are funny.
I love academics.
Yeah, they're so funny. I love it when Stydia are academic together.
This is actually really true.
Yeah, actually, that's both. They're both true. Okay. And can you
Moving
quote your
on.
favorite Stydia scene?
I feel like my favorite Stydia scene might be the one where he's like, it's like after the car got hit, they hit the deer with the car.
Oh yeah.
And like just like that entire
Oh, that's so
Little
cute.
exchange.
like exchange and like even when they're
My kids.
at the stoplight and it's not even really Stydia, but like Styles is waving to them and Lydia's just like not even shocked to see them. She's just kind of like, what's up? Like it's so I love how casual that was. That was really nice.
So my URL is Rongasm. And the story behind that is that I really like Ron Weasley. And
No, she
Gasm-
really likes
No, like I
Ron
really like Ron
Weasley.
Weasley. And like gasm kind of sounds like orgasm a little bit. So like Ron
A little
Weasley plus orgasms like together.
Oh God, where's my pearls? I need to be.
I need to clutch
I need to clutch my pearls.
And my favorite Stydia scene is Galvanize.
Surprise, surprise.
I can't. I actually
Oh wow, it's
can't quote it.
Oh, would you look at that? It's been 2 minutes since we talked about it. Time to.
I don't. I can't quote Galvanize. because I would be embarrassed to because it's sacred, but I can quote the bedroom scene in 505 like word for word, and it's like really bad. I can like breathe with them. Okay, you go.
She really loves that bedroom scene too.
Listen, any scene that takes place in a bedroom or like a kitchen is like Rachel bait. Like imagine, guys, take a second, just like imagine Styles like cooking and like Lydia's sitting on the island and like he's in pajama bottoms. Like tell me that doesn't bring you complete bliss, because it does for me.
To each his own.
Yeah. Domesticity kinks are fun.
Yeah. She's got one. My URL is Red String Banshee. And I hate it. Honestly, like I want to change it. But like
I like your URL.
Oh no. Just because like well, obviously Red String because I'm trash for the emotional tethers, and then Banshee because I'm trash for Lydia Martin and she's a Banshee. And I just think they're so cool, like Banshees in general, like the mythology. Originally I was registering anchors with like hyphens in the middle, and then I was like, I need to clean this up a little bit. So that was like my first Tumblr URL. But before that, I was a personal blog that like turned into a Teen Wolf blog because I cannot deny the trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't deny it.
Yeah.
And then I like, you guys are gonna kill me, but I feel like my favorite Stydia scene is like the kiss. Like every time I watch it, like I literally like the breath, like I'm breathless too. Like it gets knocked out of me. Like
I find the bed. Come here.
Like I can't like stop myself from just like feeling exactly the same. Yeah. Every time I watch that scene, I feel the exact same way I felt the first time I watched it. Like it just brings so much.
That's love.
Yeah,
That's
it really
true love,
does. Like,
guys.
it
That's
makes me
real.
feel like I have such an emotional, connection to that scene. And I also like kind of love, I feel like I'm stealing this from Raina, Fuck Yeah, Styles and Lydia, but she loves the Molotov cocktail scene and just everything about that whole episode between Stydia. Like I could write a thesis on, like, but I won't. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Oh my gosh, we should go to the same school and I'll write my thesis on Not Just a Girl, why she wants revenge. Like I'll write that paper. You write that paper.
All right.
Wonderful.
I'll be done.
What are you gonna write?
What would I write? Maybe I would
What's
write.
your Stydia thesis?
Maybe I would write the Red String meta.
Ooh.
Maybe,
I don't know if that would get approved. Like I feel like you'd have to.
I'd approve it.
At this point, Maggie will be a doctor to
Yes,
and she'll
I love
sign
it.
me up.
Okay. So Anonymous said, how did you guys get the idea of creating this podcast?
This was all her idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say ask this one.
But you guys like I bounced a lot of it off of you guys. Well, I was like
I said no. I said I didn't want to be on it because I hate the sound of my voice. And
wait,
yet,
how did I?
And yet Rachel has like one of the best voices on
How
the
did I get
podcast.
you?
that's a lie. Because you said you would do what Mad Grad 2011? Right?
Out of the Ash series?
Out of the Ash series, which is one of my favorite Lydia characterization fics ever. So I was like, okay, I want to be on that one. And then you said,
I just kept putting you on them.
and then you were like, oh, and then we're gonna do the Hogwarts AU, so you have to be on that one. And I was like, okay,
You're so sneaky.
Wow, I am a conniving
Yeah.
bitch. Okay, so I came up with this idea specifically to coerce Rachel into doing something that she didn't want to do. Just kidding. I really felt like, first of all, it was hiatus and people were getting kind of catty. And I was like, I don't want to deal with this.
people were sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad is not the right word. It's catty. People were getting catty. Not Rachel. She was. And I was just like, I thought that there was a more productive thing that we could positive our energy into than being depressed over the fact that we didn't have any new content. So I figured that it would be really cool to have like a book club type thing where people were discussing fics all together, like, and reading the same fics at the same time, especially because so many of the fics in the Stydia fandom that are amazing don't get the recognition that they deserve. So I felt like it would be really fun for all of us to just like chat about Stydia fanfic, like a book club.
And give you a vetted recommendation.
Yeah, that's true too. And I just wanted people to like Tumblr at us and like tweet at us and stuff about like the book they were reading, which no one does, but that's okay.
We'll get there.
I'm not sad. I'm fine.
It is hiatus. Like
Yeah,
it is, you know,
true.
it's a little slow.
Wait, are we on hiatus right now?
I don't know. It feels like we just ended season.
like 2 days ago.
God, what was it?
Season 10.
Yeah. Don't worry. 20-something days until a trailer, right, guys?
Yeah, so I'm thirsty AF.
Yeah. We're gonna let you know if we have anything more concrete from HOWLERCON because Holland is here.
Yeah.
So
And Crystal's here too. Oh, that was the best thing I've ever made. We are trash. Okay. This is the question we're talking about. How and why do you think Deaton figured out who belonged with who for the emotional tethers thing with both Isaac and Allison, and as well as Stydia?
So for that, I think we're all in agreement, and that was very much a contrived Jeff Davis plot device,
Which is
necessarily
good.
Not necessarily based in like the canon.
I'm like a little less cynical about it. I'm like, they're soulmates, and that's why. And he knew. Like,
how would he know?
Okay, you
That's
go first, and I'll explain me.
Well, our reasoning was because if you want to make it based on this big epic love story, I do not think Scott and Deaton are destined to be, married 5 ever.
I want to go home.
But like, I definitely
We just got here.
but like, I definitely do see how, he maybe knew that there was ways that these characters could connect. Like, Deaton is a father figure for Scott, so maybe him picking Scott was more him being overprotective. Stop it.
Yikes.
Guys, let's keep this clean. Deaton is a pure father, okay?
Okay.
In this conversation. And
Yep.
like, Isaac and Allison had obviously been growing together. They're both kind of feeling off kilter in their family circles. And then, like, I mean, Styles said it in season 1. There's something kind of that clicks with the two of them that you see from season 1 whenever they banter, whenever they talk. But I don't think he was like, this is because of love. I think maybe he did kind of knew that there was a chemistry there, but
He
not.
probably knew about the crush.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think that Scott like complained about how often Styles complained about Jackson. Like,
Oh, I love that.
I'm pretty sure Deaton was like up to date on that, but I don't think that was his
I love the
specific
idea of like
reasoning.
Styles Scott coming into work and being like, so here's what Styles did today.
Also, we'll never guess what happened.
Oh my goodness.
I just love Scott McCall.
I feel like, personally, I think Deaton he's like one of my favorite characters.
He's
And
On
He's
Your View is
absolutely-
AF.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
he is like brilliant, like a brilliant, brilliant man. And I think that maybe he's just brilliant in general or because he's a druid, but I feel like he's so in tune with the environment around him. And like, druids, like, they're all about maintaining balance. It's
Mhm.
not good and evil, it's just balance. And I love that. And I think that like somewhere that druid part of I'm getting like way too deep into this, it's really not that serious.
The weeds.
But I think that like druid part of Deaton like really understood like the universe needs balance, and that balance is Styles and Lydia. And I think that like that he just kind of knew like it was like, I don't know, it was part of the universal plan for Beacon Hills. I'm a little bit of a sap when it comes to that, but I think like, as you can obviously tell, but I don't know, like I just really think that he was just very in tune with that moment.
Yeah, I mean,
and
he
with
had
the
to have
people
a
around
reason,
him.
like, in canon that
Yeah.
was somewhat believable
Yeah.
because obviously Allison and Lydia's relationship has been maintained as pretty important.
Well, not now. She's dead.
It's still important, though.
Fuck off. I'm gonna kill you.
It's still important.
I'd be dead too.
You can't even.
I'm
say-
sorry. I like to emotionally shut myself down to Allison being dead because I can't believe it
Yeah.
happened.
I mean, we're meeting Crystal in like a
So
day,
Allison's
guys.
not dead.
So she's
Stop.
alive and well.
You're okay. I really feel like this is a really contrived thing, which I think is the greatest thing ever. Like,
mean, yeah,
the fact that
Rachel's
Jeff
point here.
Davis purposefully did this, guys. The fact that this is on purpose is awesome. There's like no reason why Deaton would be like, I feel like Lydia, that girl that Styles is a crush on, would probably be like a really good person to pull him out of the water from the forest. of
Although
death.
the other alternative was like if he let Lydia and Allison go together, would be Isaac being in charge of bringing Styles back from the death. And if that was the case, we could say
He wouldn't
thank
come back.
God.
it's really contrived, and like as a Stydia shipper, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, Jeff Davis. I know. I see it.
I was like, it's true love.
I ain't mad.
I'm not mad about that. I will never be mad about
Yeah.
contrived Stydia
And
moments.
if the speculation, rumors, confirmation is true that we will see more of this emotional tether in season 6, I will wait those 20-something days for a trailer. I will wait the period of time after that for season 6.
A lot of things that Will Wallace says, I'm like, shrug emoji, but he said that, and I called 3 people on the phone and was like, Will Wallace said that they were going to have emotional
It's
tethers.
because it was like one of his first things. It was before he was
Yeah.
on anybody's list.
Maybe, but I was still like hella pumped, and I still am. Like, I'm still
So
like,
I mean, like,
I believe
no one was
that.
paying attention to him until he said that.
And then all of a sudden we're like, tell us more.
And now
Wait, who
we're
are
like,
you?
bye.
And then we were like, just kidding. Okay. Stydia predictions for 601.
My favorite thing to say about this, it could be anything and nothing, because every time we face an episode, it seems to be we get a ton of something, whether it's little moments or it's something as big as the rescue episode, or we get nothing. And like where Lydia is it feels like barely even in the episodes, and she's usually the one who gets like off-screen time to herself. But what we're all really hoping for is that it sort of ends with them having a conversation about their feelings for each other. That can go escalate all the way to like a kiss or like saying feelings, but like they need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like that we actually have to specify that that's a request we have is pretty sad. But
they're not gonna just like, well, they might, I guess, but no. Listen, okay, no. You don't think that they would just? No, they have.
They're
to
gonna
talk
have a
about
conversation.
It. They have to. There's like, it's too like convoluted at this point.
I think, like, I don't even,
Sorry.
I don't want to make a prediction because, like, I was so gun-ho. Like, my prediction was, like, there's gonna be a kiss in the last 5 minutes of the season finale.
You that there wasn't a
I know, but I have a believer's heart, okay? And
to be fair, there was, like, multiple episodes where I described situations for Rachel where it could happen that they would kiss. Rachel was like, totally, but Teen Wolf sucks.
Yeah.
Me, Rachel.
And I feel like I keep forgetting that. Like, Teen Wolf sucks. I'm like, oh, yeah, it sucks. Like, after the episode.
You also know there was going to be a kiss or like a declaration in 516, and I guess like technically to Lydia she had a declaration, but to Styles he was like, "Oh, look at the birds flying outside the window."
Rachel
come on,
was bitter
516
AF
was
about
good.
516 until I told her to watch it 7 times until she was dull, and then like fresh eyes.
I love 516.
Just watch 516. Well, okay, especially because I was like, during the scene when they're like in the back of the car, I thought they were gonna kiss, and I was like,
That was
do not
nerve-wracking.
kiss. I was like holding my room. I had my friend on one side, my roommate on the other side, and I was like, if they kiss, I'm gonna punch both of you in the face.
I'm so far gone, like, I wouldn't give a fuck. Just as long as they kiss.
It wasn't the right time.
I was like,
wasn't
if
right.
they do, I'm gonna scream, but I'm gonna be mad about it after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Okay, here's my prediction for 601 based on a compilation of evidence that we have gotten from like basically March to now. So,
Which is basically March because we haven't gotten like anything since then.
okay, so we have Jeff saying that Lydia's feelings are going to become more like emphasized, which I think is like, LOL, that's cute, Jeff. You don't care about Lydia's feelings.
Yeah.
Focal point.
I know, but like seriously, okay, I can see it happening like later in the season, but I feel like I heard from people who were like on the set who were like tweeting at Stydia News and stuff that it's a very Styles-centric episode, and Jeff said that Styles is going to have to decide if his heart lies with Lydia or Malia.
Have you seen my URL, Jeff?
It's always Lydia.
Always.
I made this easy for you, man.
Yeah. Anyways, so the thing is, I think that what's going to happen is they're either going to establish at the top of the episode that Styles and Lydia have become like ridiculously close, like biffles, like they have friendship bracelets. That's a necklace. I'm sorry. Friendship necklaces, ring power. He's gonna decide that they're gonna establish at the top of the episode that we're super close, or that they like have been avoiding each other
Anything
nonstop for like the whole 3-month hiatus. And then
I'm willing to bet it's the latter.
Scott's gonna shove someone, I think, and then they're going to keep avoiding it even
Really?
as
You think
he shoves.
Scott's gonna be like the?
I did too,
catalyst?
though.
I think that either
Really?
Scott or Malia is gonna say something that's gonna nudge.
And I would love for it to be like swapped. So Scott's talking to Lydia and Malia is talking to Styles. I mean, any combination of the 4 of them talking with Styles and Lydia being in their separate corners, like, you both need to stop being stupid.
Tell me more.
You both need to stop being stupid
Yeah.
and talk to the other person. I would just love that because
Totally.
I want to see, especially since we've lost so many characters as for S6, like, I'm gonna miss Kira so much.
Moment
That
of
I need to,
silence.
yeah.
I feel like the
You broke
catalyst.
him. You broke him.
Oh,
I'm
so sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
Go,
Kira. I feel like the catalyst for that discussion is going to be like a forced circumstance. Like, I don't think any of the characters are going to be like, you guys need to talk. But I think like Styles and Lydia like are in a classroom alone, and it's kind of awkward, and they're just kind of sitting there, and like the seed gets planted. I think.
What's he?
Like, you know. What seed. No.
Sorry.
Another Nemeton
I
is
like
being
saw
born,
the
you guys.
opportunity and I just grabbed it. So my like final like prediction is that that lacrosse game we saw them filming. I think there's gonna be a lacrosse game at the school, and it's gonna be after the game. Styles gonna like change out of his clothes, and then someone said that there's an attack in the parking lot involving Styles.
Oh.
So I think that what's gonna happen is Styles is going to get attacked in the parking lot. Like these could be completely unreliable spoilers, and if they are, then I'm gonna be so
That's
wrong.
the hard part. Is
Yeah.
that episode 1 filming was so long ago, and it was from people who
We're at the school.
So it's
Yeah.
hard to say. These are what we hope.
Yeah. So my hope is that Styles, if there is an attack with Styles at night at the school, then I'm hoping it'll be because of the lacrosse game. And then I'm hoping that Lydia will save him with her banshee powers. Like the
Ooh, that'd be nice.
and then I'm hoping that there will be like a brief conversation at least. Then like a kiss would be fun.
What if the same exact thing happens if she doesn't save him? And that's how he gets taken, and that's how he's gone.
No, because I really think that they're going to take him after there's a huge emotional fallout with Lydia. So the rest of the season is like, ouch.
Well, what if it's like, we should talk after the lacrosse game? I have something really important to tell you. And then she runs to the parking
they
lot,
would
and he's
do
not
that, too.
there because he got taken by the
Oh, they
wild hunt.
totally
I'm
would
hoping
do
that like it's
Which
confirmed.
is my
like
most
yeah,
intense headcanon
yeah.
ever.
That's horrible.
I think he's
I'm
gonna
in your
get
mind
taken
for
like
this.
right after like his feelings are basically confirmed.
I
for
agree with
Lydia.
you. I think that as
Mhm.
soon as Lydia finds out
like
she's
separately. Both of them confirm it like separately, not to
Yeah.
each other.
Or like the
What?
kiss, or like right after. I'm really gunning for a kiss, y'all. Like
I think that she's gonna go to school the next day and be like, okay, Styles is my boyfriend. And then she's gonna be like, okay, Styles has been taken. And I'm not
Okay,
going
my
to see him
boyfriend's
for
missing.
10 episodes. 10 episodes was like super specific.
Yeah. Yeah, it could, I mean, it's
Oh my god, your background! I just saw.
What?
I just saw Rachel's background.
Oh, my
for-
phone
for-
background.
for the first
It's,
time.
it's shout out to Jade. Wells Jaws goes. She drew the scene for You Can Stay With Me for Now, and it's beautiful.
Mm. We love Jade. Like, oh my god,
I am
Jade!
Jade
If you're
trash.
watching
I
this,
stand Jade. It's
no,
like a
I do
problem.
too. I do
Fair,
too. I love
very
her.
fair.
She's like my internet crush. It's a I'm like every time
My
she talks to me, I'm
Canadian
like,
Hashtag
ooh.
exposed.
Okay. Have you ever read the fanfic All the King's Horses by Marvels? I loved it so much because it's something that could have happened, and I found it a bit similar to the Eikenhouse storyline from season 5. It was like the author predicted the future or something.
Mhm.
Yes.
I haven't. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Rachel has not read it.
It's not
The
because I
other
don't
Rachel
want
has.
to. It's because like I was waiting until there wasn't like an intense plotline going on Teen Wolf, so that like it was over hiatus, and I just wanted to like chill and like be like swept up in like a really complicated plot. But because mostly during the season I read like fluff, cute stuff. But I just never got around to it, and I'm sorry because I feel like it's incredible, and I just feel terrible. I haven't read it yet.
True fact, I wanted to nominate it for the popular fic thing, but
It's
it was
really
too
long.
long.
It's like
It is long.
140K.
It's so good. You should sit down and read it if you guys can, if you have the time, because I loved it. I adored it. And the second that the Eikenhouse plotline was revealed and like
Mhm.
starting to be talked about, I went and messaged the author going, oh my god, your fic is coming true. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And Marvel's is Finn Dameron on Tumblr, spelled canonically. So shout out to you
Whoa.
for getting
Wow.
that one.
Whoa.
What a URL.
Yeah.
Snag it.
So be sure, and she's actually was working on a sequel. She had to take a break due to schooling. I think the first or
Oh, yeah,
one or
she's-
two parts are up of
Yeah.
the sequel, which is The Kids Aren't All Right.
Mhm.
Go find them. Go
Ain't
read
that
them.
the
This
damn truth?
hiatus is
The
there's
kids
an
need
end
a
in sight,
therapist.
but like not really.
I love one of Jade's fics, Common Chaos, which is my favorite. It like starts off when they're in a group therapy session, and Styles and Lydia are in the same group, and I'm like,
Music to my
be
ears.
therapized. Please talk about your problems.
Mhm. Yeah, but I love All the King's Horses,
Mhm.
and yeah, as soon as the whole like Eichen storyline was revealed, I think anybody who read that fic, their mind like went right to it. So like kudos for the author for writing that. It was brilliant.
So
Mhm.
smart.
And like I was telling the Rachels this day, and they were like, "Oh my god, like of course you would." But
Listen.
the Olivia in that fic is on point, okay? Because like their relationship is just so beautifully written.
Did you
in
say
that
Olivia
fic.
or Lydia?
Olivia, sorry.
Oh, Lydia.
Olivia.
I love Lydia.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But yeah, very good, well written fic. I recommend it for
Mhm.
sure.
10-10 would bang.
Yeah, like
10-10.
honestly, if it had been leaked at all that Crystal was coming back to the show, but they didn't tell us what part it was, I would have been on the edge of my seat thinking, she's gonna show up in the Icon.
Yeah.
She's gonna show up in this plot line, and like
And there's sometimes I was like, did they fucking read this fic? Because like I don't know.
so similar.
Eerie.
They like stole.
Yeah.
They've like some things happen in like fanfic that I've like seen on the show, and I'm like, I see you guys.
Sometimes I'm like, this.
Oh, Jeff, you'll delete your Tumblr and your Twitter, but you'll read the fanfic. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
hmm
Okay.
At me.
Leaving the salt parade. Kyle Shark on Tumblr said, "Tell us about your day," which is super cute because your blog got like sleepover Saturday things. So Maggie, how was your day?
It was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like packed a little bit like at 1 a.m. last night and packed early this morning and then went to work, and I brought my bag with me to work. And I was like texting the Rachels all day, like, I'm so excited. And I work as a preschool teacher. So I was like running around, like taking care of the kids. And then as soon as I left work, I like went right here. They had already gotten here. And you guys, if I was a dog, I would have been like that shaking chihuahua that like pees on the floor. I was so excited to see them. This is the first time we've met. And like, I told them like,
It's the second time we've met.
yeah. And yeah, the first time like I've met them and we've all been together. But I was saying to them, it was kind of like I feel like it's different seeing you in person, but almost like I've known you for years anyways, because we're constantly like talking face to face anyway, like
we
through a
record
computer screen.
Stydiacast with our Skype webcams on, so that we can kind of give each other like visual
Cues. Yeah, we
Yeah.
use cues a lot. But also like there's there's also like apparently when we move our hands a lot, the mic picks it up.
Oh really?
Yeah. So Rosemary was talking to me about it. She was like, Rachel, you gotta like not wiggle your hands.
That's gonna be impossible.
And I was
for
like,
you.
what? What's that you were saying?
The microphone is a lot further away from her right now.
Yeah, that's true. Goodbye, my almost lover.
Yeah. So are you gonna tell everyone about your day?
I hung out with this douchebag all day. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was her
Jesus
grandma. She's
Christ.
real rude.
No, my grandma's great. Okay. So I woke up at like 11:30 and I was like, shit, it's 11:30. I did not mean to do that, which sucked. And then I went out and ran some errands. And then I was like, I went back home and I did some like repacking of my suitcase. And this guy showed up at my doorstep with a boombox playing In Your Eyes. Just kidding.
What the hell? You guys didn't bring a boombox for me.
I was actually playing Where's My Love because I wanted to hear her collapse on the inside of her home.
Dude, that's not cool. Oh, she got my dog. My dog, yeah.
The dog loved me. The dog wouldn't look at her.
My dog doesn't like me. Like, has never liked me, and we've had her since I was very small. And
Strudel the golden
Strudel doesn't like me at all. It makes me really sad. Like, I'm always like, Strudel, I love you. And she's like, fuck off. Literally, fuck off. So, like, my grandma's like, say goodbye to Rachel, Strudel. And Strudel's like,
Strudel gave really sad eyes, but like at her grandmother and me. And then her grandmother goes, oh yeah, see, look at Rachel and say goodbye, Strudel. And Strudel was like walked away.
Yeah, no love.
No love.
Yikes.
But Rachel and I had fun in the car. We expected to listen to like Hamilton the whole way to New Jersey. But we didn't listen to Hamilton once. And that was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I feel really bad about it. We just talked the whole way there. We debated over the color of Lydia's peacoat. I lost.
Yeah, Rachel lost hard.
Well, it was because I had it as my phone background for a while, like an edit with it, and it looked like blue in that edit, and then I like looked it up on the actual episode, and I was like,
she
this
was
is green.
listing like every shade of blue green that exists in a Crayola print.
I was like, sea foam Rachel.
Turquoise. It's like teal. It's like
a Tiffany's box. But
yeah.
no.
It's actually like lime green, but
Apparently
okay.
so. It was edited different on my phone screen, that's why.
Yeah.
And then we played Hamilton for Maggie, which was rad on a stick.
They sang it and they rapped. I was very, very impressed. It was it was nice.
Did
I
you
was like,
what's
we
your
should form
favorite
a-
song?
I think
we
Burn.
played,
I think Burn might be my favorite. Like, it was just beautiful. And the first time the chorus came in where she's singing out Burn.
the really long burn.
Yeah, like it touched me inside. It was beautiful.
Hi, Kay.
So
Okay.
my day was basically almost the same as both of theirs, except I went to work at the DMV.
Fun.
I mean, I don't mind my job. I do not have to face people on the daily. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
I work in a secret locked room, basically. You can't come in there. I'm too cool.
Oh, we almost got killed on the highway. That was fun.
Yeah, there was this one car who,
Douche canoe.
yeah, he tried to merge and
Merge!
failed.
I'm sorry, friend's quote.
He tried to merge and failed. Like,
Sorry.
turned the blinker on, but then didn't do anything. And then, like, braked really suddenly. Finally did merge correctly, not with the blinker, but then almost went too far and smacked into another car in the next lane over. We were just, it was so bizarre. Rachel almost took out her phone and started recording him to see if he would do anything else. It
Oh
was,
my God.
I was
ridiculous.
like, because Rachel, what did you say? You were like, what did you say?
Find your chill maroon car.
Find your chill maroon car. And it was like, this is so specific. Maroon car.
Yeah.
You are my enemy, maroon car.
Basically, if I see the maroon car again, I think we're gonna get into a fight.
Yeah.
Like, yikes. And I know maroon's Ron Weasley's like least favorite color, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I had an initial instinctive
I
dislike.
hope he grows into it a little bit later in life. Like, I really think that has to do with his. Whoa, this is a Stydia podcast. Anyways, so Claudia Allison Stilinski asked this awesome question that we were all really excited to get. She said, "Talk about your headcanons for the pack playing Truth or Dare." Are you doing like a Mamma Mia thing? Are we all gonna like pose? Like,
Was I doing it?
You were like,
Jesus.
I'm a model.
Oh, it just happens naturally.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
Rachel's just naturally
You're
a
like,
model.
she's like ridiculously gorgeous, and
I
it's
know.
like she just
What
like
the
sits here like.
hell?
I'm gonna wake them up tomorrow with like, I'm gonna buy a retainer, wear like huge glasses, like have my hair in uneven pigtails with a face mask on, and
Sure.
wake them up like, guys.
Oh my God.
Please don't wake me up like that. Can we wake up to like start of time? Just like we'll be so zen. We'll just be like,
I don't know if I would wake up to that. I would probably just like
it's like
wanna fall back asleep.
raindrops. It's like nice.
Yeah.
I like to be eased into my daytime
But-
experience.
Truth or Dare, I guess it would. I feel as though for every dare, like Styles would pick every single dare given to him, and Lydia would pick every truth given to her until
Yeah.
it got too real, and then she would chug the shit out of her drink.
Yeah.
I guess with everybody else, it depends on who'd be asking them the questions. Because Isaac would be the person coming up with the worst truths. He would cut right to your fucking soul.
He'd like he would deal with
Oh.
so much shit. I feel
Yeah.
like Lydia like would almost do a dare if Isaac was the one asking the question
Exactly.
because he knows like exactly how to cut into you. He'd be awful.
Isaac would be merciless.
Yeah.
Scott, I think, would pick truth unless Styles was the one giving him a dare, because then he'd be like, okay, bro, like let's go, let's do this, whatever. And Styles would probably say, you have to blah 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 with me, or like we're gonna do this. Like,
Styles
you
would
know?
make out with me. Scott, we're making out now.
Yep.
Scott would be
Bisexual
like,
Styles
Scott would be
is
like,
bi.
Lydia's right there. Why don't you dare her to make out with you? And Styles is like, she'll never do a dare anyways.
Yeah.
Pack playing spin the bottle would be like basically just your average season 3 of Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I love it. I don't really have any headcanons, but I feel like Scott would like, somebody would do truth or dare for Scott. He'd pick truth, and then he'd end up saying something that like makes the whole pack just go silent and like look at him and be like, wow, and like just get massive like hard-ons for like Scott McCall. Like,
Even
so
more than they
deep.
already do.
yeah, like he would go like so deep, like so quickly, and they'd be like, okay, we're not drunk enough for this. Like,
Also, all of the pack would give the worst dares to Liam and Mason. Like,
Oh,
hazing.
yeah.
I feel like okay, but imagine if it was like strip truth or dare.
we're going there.
Like,
All right.
Well,
Can
then
we go
Liam and
there?
Mason wouldn't be invited.
Well, yeah, I know that because they're under 18. But like
bedtimes.
they have to go to sleep. But like imagine like Lydia being like asked something super personal and they're like, look, you can either answer this or like take off your shirt. And she's like,
Lydia,
oh
did you
God.
really kiss
Right, like
Styles?
the
what did you
ultimate-
Lydia,
the
what did you kiss
ultimate
Styles
struggle.
for? Just like woo.
Because everyone apparently knows about that.
Okay, how many times have we been salty about Will Wallace so far? Like, this is 3.
This is
Let's be salty one more
I
time.
think we talked about Galvanized twice and Will Wallace twice. I'm starting to keep track.
Oh God. And we've
Yeah,
talked about, we've
examining.
named 3 kinks so far.
you guys.
Have we?
Okay, the domesticity one counts. There was
Uh-huh.
also the daddy kink. And there was
Damn it.
I'm gonna say public sex in a classroom counts as another kink.
Wait, when did we talk about that? Did I miss that?
You said planted a seed, and we were both
Oh,
like,
Okay,
yeah.
that wasn't really a kink. That was
Okay.
your dirty mind.
Yeah, that was just you being Rachel.
no, I don't make very many sex jokes.
That's a fucking lie.
That's a fucking lie.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, Kyle Shark asked. This is a
like-
good question.
Pack Truth or Dare headcanons,
Oh.
it'd be a fucking mess.
It would be a disaster.
It'd be a mess.
It would be a mess.
They would
And
all end up
Styles
drunk.
would like just do like everything, and they would be like do this depraved thing, expecting him to like have to take a drink, and he'd be like, "I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll like scotch
And he
toast."
keeps like elevating the dares, and he keeps like meeting
Yeah.
them, and they're like, "We should probably calm down, like, because
Mhm.
he's gonna do this.
He'll
shit.
do all of
He's
it.
gonna do it all."
Also, Truth or Dare is how Malia like really finds out that she's bisexual.
Oh,
Yeah. She totally has to make out with Kira, and she's like, "Oh, I like this so much."
Right.
Malia
Dare me to
loves
take
Truth or
dare me
Dare.
to make out with Lydia. I just need to know. I just gotta know.
Dare me to marry a girl, I'll do it.
California, it's legal.
Okay, Kyle Shark
now
said
we're gonna go.
FMK, Jackson, Parrish, and Peter.
Oh god!
That's sadistic.
Oh my god, you guys! I might have to go with Mary for Parrish, and I'm not happy about it.
Okay, well,
I feel like
Peter's
my personal
is-
prejudices make me want to
Are
kill
we all
him, but
Peter's killed?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Is everybody Peter's dying?
yeah,
Yeah, Peter's
oh
dead.
for sure.
Done.
He's at this convention.
I feel like here's the thing. I don't want to marry Jackson. More Parrish.
Yeah, I don't think any of us do. That's
I think the problem is, and we were kind of discussing Jackson's characterization and what we saw of him. He's not a good person. He's not a
redeemable.
good guy. He hasn't been redeemed yet, so there's no reason I should want to marry him.
Yeah.
At least Parrish has a steady job.
at least Parrish pretends to be.
He's
nice
my
guy.
I think
age.
Parrish is a nice guy. I just think he's like milquetoast. He's so boring and no one cares. Just
He's
shut up.
deluded.
And
Oh,
he
God, I'm
has,
sorry.
you
If
know.
if you guys like Parrish, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, we're kind of anti-Parrish.
Sorry.
over here.
I just think he's boring.
I mean, mostly
Yeah.
for 5B, he didn't add a lot. They really, really dragged out his Hellhound plotline,
Yeah.
and they didn't even deliver on it in a way that I feel like was satisfying for anybody, because he was supposed to be
Yeah.
the big guy who took down Labette, and he really...
It was just irrelevant.
I mean, he didn't.
He's
It was.
Shout out to Holland Roden's singing skills and her operatic
That
vocal
couldn't have been
cords.
Holland. It did
I
not
know,
sound
I
like
know,
her.
I know,
Holland,
I
no
know.
way.
So
But I feel like they had somebody else record it and then edited it, and that's why that happened, because she damaged her vocal cords so much that she couldn't scream.
I just wish that they had just had her say Mason like really loud, and then
Yeah.
Just like stamp her foot and go, Mason, snap out of it.
right, like
Even if it was like a gasp, like Mason, like I was just like,
Aw.
But like the thing is what's really cool about her screams is they always edit it to have the same like ending, and that
Yeah.
wasn't
like the inflection.
yeah, that wasn't in.
Well, I
her
think it's because
ad.
they used like the same stock screams over and over again.
I know, but they like
Mhm.
didn't edit that into the Mason scream,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was, but they had it drawn out like a regular scream. They didn't edit it very nicely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that I would.
I
if it
think
was
we all
FMK.
have the same thing.
I think so.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say mine then, and then you guys can tell me if you agree. I would kill Peter, fuck Jackson, marry Parrish.
Mhm.
Because like
Yeah.
Parrish is boring, but like he's a nice guy. He probably wouldn't hurt you.
That's the thing. It's like
Jackson's so terrible. He probably wouldn't hurt you.
No, I mean, that
the
is a good
problem-
thing. That's a
but the
good
problem
thing.
is that with Jackson, like he is so emotionally manipulative from what we've
Yeah.
seen that
Oh my god, you'd be
do
such
not-
an abusive
you
husband.
do not
like,
have that guarantee that
Yeah.
Jackson wouldn't like be really awful.
you just abuse emotionally the shit out of you.
Mhm.
So no, thank you.
Lydia Martin,
Pass.
us mortals.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
that's
real.
a very
If
good
she
point.
can barely put
if
up
he
with
can't
it.
even appreciate Lydia, like there is no saying. There's no
Yeah.
telling.
Mhm.
Okay, Madge's Gold Pin on Tumblr asked, "What do you love most about Stydia?"
Let me
Garsh.
count the ways.
Garsh.
I don't know.
What did you just say?
Garsh, like Goofy.
Oh, Gorsh?
Garsh.
Isn't that like oh my gosh?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, who is he? I get drunk on jealousy.
That's not our favorite part of Stydia.
That's not
we're
my-
so glad there's no jealousy there, except for that one.
Except
little,
for Malia, and I mean Styles isn't jealous, which is like one of the best parts of his character.
I think that we're all probably going to say some variation of this, but how it started out as the boy with the crush on the popular girl, but now they've been demonstrated to us as intellectual equals who are really
Yeah, I
able
think
to go back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
That kind of dynamic conversation is always fun to watch, and I think when they started letting them have that in season 3 especially, the writers were thinking, we should give them more of this. We should give them more time to like talk to each other and bounce ideas off each other, even if it may seem like they're annoyed with each other. Their conversations are still really fun. Like
They know each
every
other's
day is a baby day,
boundaries. Like,
Lydia.
the annoyance, they always know each other's boundaries. They know when they've stepped over. Like, and a good example of that is 212,
Mhm.
when Styles like knows he's stepped over the line and he like retracts. He's
When-
like, whoa.
Yeah, when he like yells at Lydia for being reckless with
Yeah.
her life and wanting to go save Jackson's.
Yeah.
So that's just been
okay.
a delight to watch. I think that's my
You have to
favorite
answer
part.
something different.
God.
Yeah.
That's
You
me.
can't say that.
I kind of like the selflessness that comes with their love for each other
Yeah.
because
I need a pillow to hug.
They're all so
Um,
far away.
like from the very especially I mean we kind of have to interpret Lydia's feelings a lot of the time, but Styles has always been selfless with his love for Lydia. And I actually texted Rachel this the other day, but like it just blows my mind how observant he is of her, and not because like he has this like wild crush on her, but because she's like a compelling person and human being, and he wants to know more, and he has like this desire to like delve deeper into like this person who is so guarded and doesn't let anybody see it. Like her own father didn't understand her,
Yeah.
and he did, like from the very beginning, and he loved every single part of her. And I think that, he never pushes himself on her, and he's always there for her. Like questionably
Yeah.
when she needs it, and
Season 4.
season 4.
Season 4.
But
Wow.
besides that,
I was told earlier today that I was not allowed to get that salty about season 4, and yet look where we are.
I can't help it.
I've been sorry. I was like, Rachel, we can't be too mean about season 4. And on this, and she was like, okay, and like she behaves so well.
but yeah, that's what I like about it. And there's no agenda with their love.
Oh,
it
totally.
just is what it is. And
If they had kept with season 1, and even like if more of season 212, like that episode where Styles is like kind of crossing some lines, like because he gets
But they
he
didn't.
feels more familiar, so he thinks he can be more familiar with her. But
You
like,
look familiar. Like your dead girlfriend. Only when you smile, but I'm sure I've seen you somewhere
like
else.
if they hadn't changed it to the point where Styles stepped back, I can almost guarantee I wouldn't like Styles and Lydia together as much as I do.
I guess so. I have to have a different answer than you guys. Okay, so I agree with both of them, and like I think that what it boils down to, like for us, is a lot is like respect and just like the respect between the two of them. But since I can't have that answer, then
Aesthetically pleasing.
yeah, they're really
not
cute,
that
they
show.
are.
I mean, wow, they are hot together. But that's not what I was gonna say. I
Mhm.
was gonna say I've said this too much, but I really like how they're suited to each other. Like they think in similar ways. I think that they both perceive life and like the universe in general in like very similar ways. I think that they could just have fun together and like be people who could talk to each other and have conversations.
Lydia's marriage would be fruitfully fun.
Oh, God.
Yes, thank you, Holland.
Yes.
But I agree with it. I think that they could be happy together. And like sometimes you have those OTPs that like there's a lot of passion, but like and there's a lot of like experiences that they have like commonly together, but they don't necessarily have fun together or have anything in common. And I really believe that if Styles and Lydia were in a relationship, you know, they would be able to have fun talking. They would be able to just like enjoy each other's company, and they have things that they would like. I feel like they both have TV shows that they like the same. They could like bond over that. I feel like they both be insanely competitive at pub trivia games to get kicked out
Which
of
is
the pub.
Going into
Yeah.
headcanon
Yeah.
territory.
Sorry, I don't like headcanons. They're the worst. What? No, I just think that they're suited well to each other and that they can make each other really happy.
Once they decided on the two sides of the same coin sort of thing to
God, I
build
love
with
that
them,
quote.
Yeah, the
They-
detective stuff.
yeah, they did really, really well with building that up in season 3.
Totally.
Yeah.
They're detective buddies,
Mm-hmm.
and now they can be detectives about other stuff, like their love.
Yeah, let's
Guys,
just find
I
out.
just need it. Okay, Saucy Stydia on Tumblr said, "What do you think we will see in the trailer?"
Ooh, that's a good question.
Why do I keep saying on Tumblr like we got these questions from another like medium?
Yeah.
We did not.
I have a prediction
Sorry.
for what we'll see on the trailer.
Okay, go.
A lot of darkness.
Ooh, yeah.
No light. A lot of
Guys,
hella dark scenes.
Our hotel room is better lit than the Teen Wolf set.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, they only have one light bulb, so.
someone
Yeah.
donate money to Jeff Davis's Kickstarter so that he can afford
Please and thank you.
season 6 of Teen Wolf.
Don't they like huddle around that one light bulb?
That
I'm
was
like,
your other headcanon.
That's just
Um,
that's fact.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't think we'll get because they only filmed the first half of 6A and not even like all of 6A, so they have a bit of limited scenes to work from. So I'm curious to see like what kind of storyline they'll try to construct out of what they have. But we'll probably see Styles' abduction, I would guess, like at least part of it, or like at least see the Wild Hunt like swoop down.
Which that's like also a major speculation thing that's mostly
yeah.
strictly
I keep
around
forgetting
my
that
It's not
Yeah.
canon. I can't believe it. I like cannot believe I
can't
literally
believe it's
keep
not
forgetting it's not canon. I can't believe it's not canon.
Yeah.
You like convinced me. I'm with you.
Yeah,
We'll probably get
Ask
a
me about
Stydia
it.
scene where they're like looking at each other with heart eyes, motherfucker.
absolutely.
Hard ass motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. A la galvanize.
Listen.
Third time.
Stop. It's like it's my kryptonite and you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Why? So here's my trailer prediction. Well, it's ruined because I thought the Wild Hunt was confirmed. So my trailer prediction was, before I remembered that the Wild Hunt is all Rachel's theory. Okay, but they had those costumes on set that looked like the Wild Hunt, didn't they? And they were filming like a big field with horses.
So
Wait, they're filming it, but
so the things that lent itself to the Wild Hunt beyond my intense theorizing was in the brief trailer we got at the end of 5B. Something they added in was the man on the horse. and they were filming in a
yeah.
field with what looked like horses. It was kind of
People
hard
in
to
like
tell.
big draping wild hunt costumes.
And it said that there was someone on horseback in the leaked script, which, you know, may or may
ghosted.
not be confirmed.
Don't even.
So-
If that script isn't real, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, we've been burned before by scripts.
Really?
Yeah, in S4, someone leaked something that was almost the exact same thing with like who was on call and who was in every scene, but Crystal's name was on the list, and so but Tyler Hoechlin's name wasn't. So people were like,
Why would they do that? That's so
Yeah, so they were like, oh,
mean.
Hoechlin is the death at the end of 3B. It's Derek and not Allison. So that was like the insanest of burns that we all.
shit.
But
to be
maybe
fair,
I suffered
but
through
that
because you
wasn't
guys
but
don't
this was
remember.
snapshotted by an actor who was going to appear on the show.
I know, like I said, it's not
Okay.
confirmed.
Gotcha.
It's a leak, but we don't know if it's
As
real or not.
opposed to other kinds of no, that's a leech. Never mind, I take it back.
Yeah. My theory is that
Sorry,
we're gonna
I keep
get
like
a lot
mashing
of
my lips like that. It's
Yeah.
like ridiculous. I need to
I should
stop.
start keeping track of that too.
What?
I should start keeping track of that too.
I'm sorry. I don't actually usually do that. It's like random and strange.
So my theory for the trailer is that we would potentially get a lot of stuff focused around like Liam, Hayden.
I knew you were
and
gonna. I was like, she's gonna
Mason,
say 2.0, and I'm gonna
Oh,
lose it.
God.
because I feel as though that stuff has been easier to film because they don't need
Probably.
to film around Dylan as much. And, you know, maybe we'll get a lot of like hints at Styles' plotline, and we'll definitely get a tease to the big Stydia moment in 601. I want it to be as vague as possible. If it was something that ended up being not romantic at all, I would die laughing. Like if
the big moment was not romantic.
No. If in the trailer they showed
Oh.
like Styles opening a door for Lydia and then she smiles at
Oh,
him and like
God.
that was it.
Are you kidding? I would lose it.
I would just like,
I would be
I
like,
don't know if I'd be laughing.
well, I would laugh so hard because I'd be like, good. I don't think that's like the sole big moment. Like that was
Okay.
that's
I
not
get
the
what you
big
mean.
moment.
I
That was
loved
just
it.
awesome.
yeah, that was great and I loved it. But I don't want like any whisper of that scene spoiled because the he still likes her scene not being spoiled at all. Like is probably had been one of my favorite moments of watching.
Yes.
Live. Like
Oh my god.
I couldn't believe that
I think,
happened.
I think that took us all like
We
knocked
were
us on our
shocked.
asses. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I remember like when the bedroom scene in 505 happened. I was like watching on Skype with a friend, and her feed was like 5 seconds ahead of mine. So I looked down and I see her going like, and I'm like, what's going on? It's freaking Val. Like, who cares? And then I'm like, oh my god, Lydia's Styles' bedroom, and he's putting on a clothing item, which could potentially mean that he was in pajamas when she got there, and he changed while they were talking, and he made her turn around. Okay, anyways,
The domesticity king comes back with
look,
a vengeance.
that was not domesticity kink. That's just a regular
that's just a
normal
Lydia
thing.
being in Styles' bedroom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just normal.
Which is a kink in itself.
Yeah.
Honestly, if y'all don't have that kink, then I'm confused.
Oh, I have it.
Okay, so anyways, I think that in the trailer, what's going to happen is we're going to get some sort of character, maybe like Deaton, for example, explaining the mythology of like something that's going to happen with like, so it's going to be a
I love
voiceover, a VO of him. Why did I say VO? I've been listening to too much Outlander cast. It's going to be a voiceover of him, like talking about the mythology, not even Deaton, maybe someone else, maybe Scott, anybody, Chris Argent.
Mason likes reading about mythology.
True.
Oh,
and then
Mason.
and then it's gonna
Drew and
flash.
Mason, let's have it.
It's gonna flash cool
Mhm.
through all the like cast members of the Teen Wolf like currently, and it's just to like show them like doing stuff. And then there's gonna be some scenes where Scott's like interacting with Styles, I think, and he'll be like talking to maybe about Lydia, and then it'll be like a voiceover, and then maybe like show Styles and Lydia interacting in some way. And then you know how there's always like a scene that like where like it goes black and then like something really big happens
And,
after. So I feel like
the musical.
I feel like it's gonna like
Yeah.
it's gonna like I feel like what's gonna happen is they're gonna show like Styles and Lydia having a conversation that clearly looks like it's leading somewhere. Like it's gonna be like the kind of thing that because they know that we need to be teased, because in order to keep us like tuning in, they're gonna wanna like get us to go like, what just happened? I think that there's going to be a Styles and Lydia moment that's like, oh, what just happened? Because they know that Styles and Stydia are their gold cards.
And they've
so-
used the Stydia moments as a climax in
all
every
the
single
time.
trailer.
Basically,
Yeah,
every
that's,
trailer.
like, that's
Time.
why I hope that it's not like them leading in for a
moment.
kiss
Yeah.
because
I don't want that either.
it was great to be spoiled that at Comic-Con, and it was not great to be spoiled that at Comic-Con.
Yeah, but can you imagine
imagine
that like it's like a conversation or something, and like it like heads to like a climax, and then like the screen goes black, and you hear like Lydia screaming like Styles, or
Actually,
like Scott
I
being like,
really
"Ah!"
agree that like Lydia screaming Styles or someone yelling something would be the perfect note to
Yes.
end the trailer on,
Yeah.
and then it'll be like
Or-
the tagline, which will have
or
the word wild in it, because I'm right about the wild part, you guys. I'm right.
or it goes black, and after this big Stydia moment, and then it's like black screen, and then you get, you can't just erase a person, and then tagline.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Two of these hires. I just had an idea where like
Gimme.
Styles is like says something like, "Tell me, Lydia, like tell me honestly, like how you feel," and then it
Listen.
shows her like looking at him, and then maybe cuts, or like maybe her like looking at him, and then like taking a breath about to say, and then cuts, and then like
But
you
I
get
don't know
the
if I want
Styles
that much
yell.
given away. Like, do I want to know exactly how it's gonna happen?
Like I said, I
Wow, I
completely want
cannot believe you
zero.
don't like my idea.
I love that idea. Like, I love
love
that.
it, yeah.
But like at the same time, I'm like,
It
does
does
that
give
give
a
too
lot
much
away.
away?
Yeah.
I can't help it. Like I need like I'm
We need
bad.
content.
Yeah,
We are thirsty.
I'm
content.
thirsty. I'm a thirsty hoe.
We
I
are
hate
getting
it.
some questions in.
We are.
Which, yeah, so when we're done with
Nice.
those,
Okay.
we can.
Anonymous said, "How did y'all start shipping Stydia, and when?" Good
I
question.
think I kind of answered that question earlier, where just like once season 3 like really started going, and then the kiss and the emotional tether episode kind of super cemented that for me. Like, I want to see where they're gonna go with this, because that was a lot of build up to put in one episode. That I want to see where they're going with this. But I've loved them together since like, gosh, if not in season 1, definitely in season 2.
The scene where she's like walking down the hallway and he's like chasing after her. We were talking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
I was like, "That scene."
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Sounds
Tell
like
me
a
if this feels like an answer. No.
My bitch, I love her.
She's perfect.
I think Rachel and I have the same story actually about like,
Oh,
or
really?
similar
Oh,
ones
that
about
Rachel,
how
not
we
me.
started. Oh, sorry, this Rachel about how we started shipping
You
Stydia.
patted my head.
I've been like looking at your leg, like wanting to do this, like
Go
for
ahead.
a long time. I don't know why. I was like staring at it. Like,
Earlier today, I had like this strange urge to tickle you under the chin, and I was like, "No, it's doing it."
we just met, you guys.
like no joke. And also there was like a guy standing outside, and Maggie and I literally collided once I got through the door to hug her, and I'm pretty sure the guy thought we were like long lost family or something.
Yeah.
What did you guys do that was hilarious? Oh yeah, I was like, they finish each other's, and both of them go sandwiches, and I was like, I want to leave. Okay, go on.
Go on with your action.
I was gonna say I started shipping Stydia before I actually watched Teen Wolf. I
Same.
was on Tumblr and somebody was listing their OTPs and they're like Stydia, and I was like, I've never heard this before.
Sounds like a
And then
disease.
and then I googled it and I was like,
Not a disease.
and then the thing that
Really
popped
cute
up,
disease.
the thing that popped up right away was the Stydiacast. So I spoiled that for myself immediately before even watching the show.
Instantaneous.
Yeah, I watched that kiss and I was done. I was like, I ship it. I'm watching the show, like it's happening.
Yeah.
So I was Stydia trash before I even started watching Teen Wolf, and it just escalated from there. And now I'm really in the shitter. So here we are.
Whoops.
Now I'm at HOWLERCON.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started watching it with my foreign exchange student. I always say that like the best way to bond with people is through a TV show. And so like I have had like 5 or 6 foreign exchange students live with me. I did when I was in high school at least. And so that year I was like, well, we need a TV show to bond over. And I've seen this thing called Teen Wolf on my dash. We should look into this. And like I knew I shipped Stydia, but I was like horrified by season 1 Lydia. I was like, oh yeah, I was talking to Rachel about this. I was like, it crept up on me. Like, so I was like, wow, I like, this is super cute and I like this. And then there was this one, I remember like getting to a point in season 3, like before the kiss where like I physically couldn't do it anymore. And I like went to my computer and I like Googled the kiss, put it on full screen and just sat in front of my computer like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I just like, I remember like in 211 during Battlefield, me and my exchange student both like stood up on the couch when they were smiling at each other and just started screaming. We were like,
That look. Oh my god.
it was unbelievable.
It's
like,
lit.
It really was magical, as Jeff Davis says.
Yeah.
It really was.
So yeah, that's how and then like I just got trashier and trashier and trashier, and then I was like, maybe I'll just like write a Stydia fanfic, and it was like a really big deal for
Maybe
me.
I'll just write a Stydia fan.
I was
here
like,
we are.
I just wanted to write this one fic. Like it was summer, I just like really wanted to write something, so I wrote Stars on Your Ceiling. And I was like, okay, that's I'm done now. I don't need any more Stydia fanfic. Then I was like, wait, but what about a fanfic about Lydia's psychological relationship with sex? What about a fanfic where Styles and Lydia are roommates and they're adults and they just like live together and they're
I
both in
wish we had
college.
finished that one. That would have been a really good
I wish I
pick.
published
I love
it.
that one.
Maybe I'll publish it.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be fun.
Are you not talking about ground rules?
There was something.
I guess Maggie and I did not finish each
you're
other's
so-
sandwiches on that one.
Yeah.
I understood what was happening.
It's okay.
Okay.
Let's just, you know what? Let's just all agree that never happened. Everybody.
Ground rules
audience-
did never happen.
Rosemary, edit
No,
that part
like
out.
my stupidity never happened.
Okay,
Moving on.
Okay, moving on. Magic School Pin asked, what part of Lydia's character development do you find the most compelling? This is my
Ooh.
shit. I'm sorry for the creepy face I just made. I wish Rachel were here.
Yeah, I know. If you want to know what we find compelling about Lydia's character development, how
Ask
about the way
Rachel.
that Mad Girl 2011 wrote out of the Ash
Oh my
series?
god.
Because that was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just
It's okay.
I think one of my
Oh
favorite
God.
things about her character development is how
Sorry, you
easily
want
she
No, you're
she
good.
slips her knowledge and her humor into conversation in season 3. But
Yeah.
just because she's such the like facade in season 1 and 2, it's so hard to get through that. But when she's actually allowed to be funny and like she's
Yes.
like not. She's like humble bragging her intelligence. I love that. I love seeing her be honest with herself to other people.
Yeah.
Do you have an IQ higher than 170?
Right? Like
Yes.
would she would never have said that to Jackson.
Mhm.
Ever.
Damn it!
Which is why
Which is what? What is that?
Anyways,
anyways.
how about you?
The development of her character.
Yeah.
I feel like
Everything.
I don't want
Everything.
I agree with exactly what Rachel said. I love how she just kind of slowly lets herself be who she is, and I
And
don't
Styles
know.
helps.
Yeah, and Alice.
I don't.
Here I go.
Oh my
Alice.
God. It's between you and Allison, you with Isaac. Y'all are messes.
I know. I love Alice so much. She really helped Lydia, I think, grow into the person that Lydia always was and was too afraid to expose. And I just love that Lydia is such a phenomenal human being. First of all, she's like a knockout, absolutely brilliant genius.
See
Top
her
of the
with
social
her
ladder.
stars.
Yeah.
Listen, we
Mhm.
just got her to stop crying.
Yeah, and then at the same time, she's all of these things, and in addition to being all those things, she's absolutely terrified.
Oh,
And I think
baby.
yeah, and just the fact that she can be all those and still be so afraid of embracing who she is, and afraid to show people that I don't know.
She's just a really great character.
She's such a
is.
complex.
I don't understand how
character.
she happened. There's so many
Yeah,
levels.
I was just about to
remember
say,
texting you one night.
shout out
being
to
like,
Maggie
Maggie.
Roden.
It was
for making Lydia's character smart.
Yeah.
Because
No,
without that,
smart.
Without
that, they
Bored.
wouldn't have. They wouldn't have had any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Lydia wasn't smart, there wouldn't have been any of the stuff that we like about her.
Mhm.
Most
Yeah,
likely,
for
she-
sure. I
might
might
have
have
been
been
like
ship
a-
Stydia.
She might have
smart.
Yeah.
would have been like a one-off character even
Yeah.
if they got bored with writing for her.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. She could have died ages ago if she wasn't so interesting, I think.
Yeah, and just I talk to Rachel about this all the time, but I'm every time I feel I know her, she slips through my
Wait,
fingers.
I said that. I was just about to say that. I
Really?
remember texting you at 2
Mhm.
a.m. and being like, Maggie, there's
Yeah.
so many levels to Lydia, and I feel
I don't think
I'll never
ever
really
understand-
know her.
yeah.
I feel I always think that I know Lydia, but Lydia is so
Yeah.
complex and deep, and I don't think I'll ever know her
I-
really.
we
And
say
we're,
that,
both stressed out about it.
I mean, I guess that's what's so exciting about season 6 because we know there's going to be a lot less of Styles. We're going to get so much more of Lydia by
Oh,
default
yeah. I'm
because
excited.
I mean, it's been said that her feelings for Styles are a focal point. You can't have her feelings be a focal point without Lydia being a focal point. And
Yeah.
her feelings are something we have really not been privy
We
to
never
for
talk
some
about
time.
Lydia's feelings.
No, and it's about time we did.
It's time. Listen, I need this.
Yeah.
I really kind of am of the opinion that observing Allison helped Lydia come into her own, but the person who facilitated it was Styles in a lot of ways. Just because if there's I'm sure there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we don't see about Lydia's relationship and their friendship, but the truth is we don't see that much of it. We should see more, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but the stuff that we do see where Lydia's being coaxed out of her shell, for all we know, Allison could be doing that behind the scenes, but in canon, the stuff that we canonically are seeing is Lydia observing Allison and seeing her strength, and then Styles coaxing Lydia out of her shell and treating her with kindness, treating her with respect, showing her what she's worth when she doesn't believe she's worth anything because she's freaked out about her powers and not being able to control them. I really do think that Lydia wouldn't be the same person today without Styles, and I don't I mean, sure, that's partly shipper bias, but I also think that there's a lot of canon evidence that would support that. I don't think that's like a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
The one thing that I would say is I think that Allison changed Lydia's perspective on love.
Totally.
Oh,
Totally.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
She
I think
observes
that
her and
maybe.
stuff.
Oh, totally.
And
Yeah.
I think that like that is hugely.
The car scene.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
hugely important. I mean, there's a reason that Crystal and Holland have said that the car scenes they share together are so good because we get moments like that where you can actually see this change happening.
And Lydia.
Yeah. And before we
It's
move on, I
magical.
just want to say that, like, I think seeing Styles so confident with who he is, like, really helps Lydia with her confidence too,
Mhm.
because he has like nothing going for him in the beginning season.
I'm showing
He's just
Rachel
like,
what the questions we got.
okay, cool. He's just like this nobody, and he's like totally cool with it and just embraces it and runs with it and doesn't like back off like what he says and talks smack constantly. And like she's like,
Someone
this
smacks
kid is just
Allison.
he's
I
just
will.
fearless. And so I think like her seeing that-
Fearless.
Taylor Swift.
We were mad. We listened to Wildest Dreams, and then the song ended, and we were all like, "Okay, it's over." But I have 3 versions of Wildest Dreams on my phone, so the next one that they're playing, and Maggie just like lost it.
I
laughing.
lost it. Oh my god, I
We have
did
to
not
stop. We
breathe.
have to stop.
Okay, and also another thing that I love about Lydia is that like I just think that there's so many things that girls aren't allowed to be, and like a cool girl isn't allowed to be this, and like in a dynamic female character supposedly isn't allowed to be this, a strong female character. And I think that Lydia encompasses strong female character because she is a lot of the things that TV won't let women be. I really think, I mean, she's like sexually confident, she's extremely intelligent, she's witty, she can banter, but she's also allowed to like dress like a girl and be a girly girl and enjoy being mean to other girls like she does. Get entertained by that. Let's not deny it. She does.
What a
She likes
bitch.
being mean to other people. She enjoys it. She's like all these different things that strong women aren't supposed to be. But Lydia Martin
They're
is
one
strong
of
as
them.
fuck.
They're one of them at a time.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
She's all of them. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's so multifaceted, and she wears skirts. Anyways,
And heels.
and heels. Do I have another question, or am I done? Let's look. No, I don't.
Okay, so which one would you like to answer first?
The question is, where do I find Jeff Davis's Kickstarter for light bulbs?
I'm gonna do him a solid. I'll start him one.
www.raiseawarenessaboutteamwolfslighting.com.
Lighttheset.com.
Why don't they have? Look,
The
I
funniest
think they're
thing,
trying to make it ominous, but
Yeah,
instead we're like,
'cause
what's going on?
the funniest thing is
Like-
a lot of the scenes in Crystal's Marie-Jean episode were
Mhm.
incredibly well lit and
Mhm.
outside during the daytime, and
How
it
about
was
that?
quite an experience for all of us. And because then the
See
next
it.
episode it was dark AF.
Maybe they're like, if we really darken the set, they won't be able to see what's going on, so they won't know how like shitty this is.
Yeah,
yeah,
Because I think it started getting
That's-
like,
the beast is so
yeah, I don't
They
know.
wasted all their money on Parrish's Hellhound form and none of the money on the big bad.
I think it started like darkening, and when did it start darkening? Like season.
I think season
4?
3B.
I think 3B even
3B.
because that was when they really like buckled down on
Yeah.
this storyline. Is going to
Yeah.
be really
Yeah.
depressing.
I think they think the more dark it is, like the scarier it'll be, and so
You know
Which
what
it
is
can be.
scary? You know what is scary? Sometimes I think about this and I like panic. Like, what if like the next Stydiacast is also kind of shittily lit?
No, because I
How will
love
I
that the
kiss
first
it?
studio kiss was like in a room full of light.
It was
and
beautiful,
Ugh.
but it's not like
Which is why I don't want them to
super
kiss in this
easy. It's not super easy
They
to
gotta
see it.
be.
Like, it's gorgeous. Like cinematically,
Yes.
it is stunning. I will not say that it isn't.
It's
but
up for an Oscar.
Right,
Bye.
Congressman.
It's going up for a Tony. Actually, the Oscars are too snobby. Anyways, I want the next kiss to be, or at least one kiss, to be well lit, and Lydia needs to have her hair down and like a little bit curly.
Go look at her
She
Tumblr.
has
It's on
very-
her header.
yeah.
It is my header.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which one next?
Was I the only person who thought Lydia was going to fall in love with the power drunk Styles in 3B? Let's go into you and I talking about like Void Styles, like the purpose of that scene for like literally like 30 minutes.
Oh, the
Yeah.
one where he's like behind. He's like
That's
standing
why I'm
behind her.
keeping you
Yeah.
so close.
That's why I'm licking you.
Yeah.
I just,
Guys.
That I'm insatiable scene, that one.
Like, I know that it wasn't Styles, but like it's like it's
I
Void
personally
Styles.
like since they're gonna go off on tangent. I personally never saw it because I think that Lydia was too afraid for her real Styles.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that it was absolutely Jeff Davis being like, oh, like
It was Stydia Babe.
City Babe.
Oh yeah, especially because the Teen Wolf like
Mhm.
account tweeted something saying, "Ooh, does this count for a Stydia scene?" And which, like, if I wasn't already thinking like, "Oh, there's nothing romantic here," that like made it the least sexy thing that it could possibly be. They ruined any chance that scene had for me specifically.
Yeah.
And that tweet that Holland said, like, Lydia goes for bad boys, and technically Styles is one now. That one.
I don't even like the idea of Lydia going for bad boys, which now I'm going to go off into a Lydia characterization tangent. Let's stop me. Okay.
I just want to say that I think that, this is me reading into the scene again, but I really think that the Nagitsune being in Styles' mind knows, like, his profound connection to Lydia. And by, like, torturing Lydia, he was, like, totally killing two birds with one stone in terms of, like, turmoil. And I think that's, like, I don't think that's too far of a reach, because consider when Lydia goes into Styles' mind, and here is not just a girl playing, and the Nagitsune's in there, and she's in there too. Like, she's in his mind, and so she's part of that, and the Nagitsune knows that and is observant of that, and that's what I think. So.
Well, my opinion of that scene was always that the Nagitsune was using Lydia's Styles' knowledge of people to distract them, which is why Scott got distracted with Allison, because it knew that, like, Allison
all
was
of
the
them
most
got distracted with Lydia.
And so the fact that the Nagitsune used not just a girl to distract Lydia was Styles still thinking that Jackson was the most distracting thing to Lydia, which breaks my little heart, because it's 3B and he's the most distracting thing to Lydia.
I didn't think of it that way. I just thought it was just such a good moment for him, like, that I was gonna remember it. But.
Well, then, like, he definitely wasn't, like, in a closet with Scott and Allison at any point. Someone write that fanfic. Styles, like, in Scott's closet, and Allison and Scott are, like, going
he's
at
just
it.
trying to borrow, like, Scott's skateboard or something, and he just,
he
like,
gets
can't
trapped.
leave. He's, like, crouched behind them.
No.
It's very tragic, guys.
But as for the Nagitsune, I don't know. I really feel like it was Stydia bait, and that, like, it was supposed to be sexy because there are Stydia shippers.
Yeah.
But, like,
and, like,
the enjoyment.
If you want to take away this plot line, it's Styles being, like, a
assertive
power
and
drunk,
dominant,
like, sexy bad boy.
Yeah, which is, like, when you think of, like, that trope in fan fiction where it's like sex god Styles, like, he's the dominant, you know.
Yeah.
He's like that. So I think, like, secretly they're, like, tapping into all of our, like, little fantasies about, like, a more dominant Styles. But
I don't know, just the fact that, like, Dylan had to do that to Holland, though, like, the fact that he, like, did that to her ear.
Oh,
like,
my
can
God.
you think about, like, the fact that, like, these are, like, the actors that, like, play Styles, and, like, Dylan did that to
he
Holland.
had to do that, and then they had to be, like, cut, and they had to, like, go
again.
from there. Like, how do you...
They had to do that multiple times, probably.
From a couple angles.
That,
I need
like,
to see
he
every single one
ate
of
her
those
ear,
things.
you guys, and I'm down with it.
Yeah. I think that it
Imagine,
was
like,
too hard
Styles.
for me to avoid, to, like,
Somebody's ears,
get
like,
the
going at
storyline
it.
away
Oh
from
my
that.
God.
For me, it didn't work. For them, I guess it kind of did.
Like, it goes with my biting head cannon, so he just, like, munches.
We can't get into it now.
Fourth kink.
The biting isn't a kink. It's, like, it's not even sex related.
Oh,
It's,
well,
like,
whatever.
It's not a kink. It's, like, I just love the idea of, like, Styles, like, being cutesy when, like, he's trying to get Lydia paying attention to him, and just being like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I, like, probably am influenced by, like, real life couples I know, but it's adorable. Okay.
So do you answer this
Sorry.
question from our good friend?
Hi. Oh,
Who's our good
hi,
friend?
Rosemary. She's
It's
watching
Kay.
this.
So am I reading this?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kay wants to know what our honest opinions are on Marish and Stylia.
Oh, that was like an hour ago.
And
Honest opinions on Marish and Stylia.
Yeah, and Rachel and I were talking about this, and we briefly mentioned it to Maggie, but it would have been really easy for Stylia to not have been unbearable in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
But they were so dead set on writing Malia as Styles' girlfriend that that's kind of where the buck stopped.
Wait, what does that mean?
It's
Is that
like,
a deer pun?
there was no like they were like, okay, so this is the command is she's the girlfriend.
Right.
And at one point he's gonna lie to her about who her father is, and they're gonna get into a fight, but then they're gonna get back together. What was Malia's other storylines in season 4?
Oh my gosh!
I only saw season 4 like twice.
The
I can't bring
highlighters, was
myself
that
out
her
of
other
it.
plot
And a
line?
hush falls over the crowd.
Yeah,
So that was very, very disappointing because I was already going to be upset because of the setback between Styles and Lydia. And then what I was given, or what we all were given instead, was not compelling for us at all.
Yeah.
Season 5, I remember thinking in 501 and like 502 that they were very sweet and cute. And I was glad that Malia was like, allowed to stress about school.
Mm-hmm.
and succeed in school, and then like stress about driving, but it was like the girls were teaching her how to drive.
It wasn't Styles.
Like that was really.
When they could have easily been Styles in that scene. We're lucky
they
it wasn't.
Really done that, yeah.
But so those were moments where I was like, okay, so if this had been in like the tone for all of season 4, that would have been better for me.
Yeah.
But so with Stydia, for me, it was started so poorly, and then the majority of their relationship was done so poorly that at this point I kind of just like feel bad.
Before I ask you about marriage, you didn't talk about marriage. Before we talk about that, sure, okay. Last call for questions, guys. So if you have any questions, tweet us at @Stydia_cast or go to our Tumblr inbox. But other than that, we're gonna wrap this up. Okay, so Stydia, I guess it's me now. I hated it because it was just like hard to see, like plain old. If I always say that if Styles had still been able to be friends with Lydia during Stydia, then I would have been able to tolerate it. But like it was so difficult to watch him never be around Lydia and like continuously like choose Malia over her when Malia was like this brand new person in his life that he just like lost his virginity to in a basement. Like I know the show was desperate to get rid of Styles' virginity, but like
this is something she was complaining about in the car ride.
We both were complaining about this.
You started it.
I did. Of course I started it. Are you kidding? I know that the show was desperate to get rid of his virginity, but like as you said earlier, it could have been like when she wasn't in Icon. Like they could have just gone on like a first date or something and then fucked in the back of the Jeep. Like, why did it have to be an Icon
like
house?
A normal teenage,
like a normal couple.
Like, why couldn't it have been within another normal teenage experience?
The thing that bothers me about Stydia, though, is that they got so many cute domestic scenes and like so many scenes like that were in a bedroom and that like cute car scene. There's so many cute scenes together and I'm like, I want a cute Stydia scene. And I know that we have better scenes than Stydia does and we have better songs too. Like their songs are all about not being fully in love with the person you're dating, which sucks.
Yikes.
Which is the other thing why I feel bad for Stydia.
Yeah,
because
I feel bad for
a lot of season 5 kind of like established that like Styles can absolutely really care about and maybe even love Malia, but like
they stopped talking to each other in 502.
In a way,
I think
but like he could, especially during season 4 where they were like super strong.
No.
In a way, but like in the end, like they emphasize that Styles still has feelings for Lydia, even though he's been dating Malia since the middle of junior year, and now it's been all the way through that, and like
and all the way through summer.
If you were gonna get over somebody, you would have been now.
First semester, like
and the door. Tough. He's leaving the door open, and it's because a part of him knows that Lydia has feelings for him, and he just can't like see it. Mm-hmm. That's the only because like I feel like he's just leaving the door open. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason he hasn't gotten over her. And the other thing that I have to say about Stydia is that the scene where the car kiss, where like he makes a goofy face afterwards, was my lowest moment. As a Stydia shipper, I was like, this is it. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And then 2 seconds later, I was like, just take a breath. And then they never spoke again. So I was like, all right.
I hate Stydia. Well, let me back up. Season 4, I could not fucking stand Stydia. And it was probably my bias as a Stydia shipper. But also, I think mainly because I didn't like the way Malia was solely as a character, and I hated Malia in season 4, which I regret. I take that back now. She's a wonderful, wonderful character.
That happened to me too.
But I think that they did a lot of justice for her in season 5, as opposed to season 4. So in season 5, I actually found Stydia pretty cute. I'm like, oh, they're cute. Yeah. I don't ship them, but they're cute, and
because I feel like people
can tolerate that
with Skira sometimes, is they think they're cute, but they're not OTP endgame.
Yeah, and that's how I feel.
I feel that way about Skira. I created Izzy for that specific reason.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about Marish?
Yeah. So I think unequivocally we dislike Marish in every aspect and form. It's
bad.
You guys, it's not good.
It's not healthy. At least Stydia has some love in it.
Yeah. And at least there's not a power imbalance. For me, the thing that really gets my goat is the fact that Lydia's story and her development is compromised by by Parrish.
Yeah.
She's constantly being pushed to the side in terms of their relationship and their ship.
Her characterization came
Yeah,
be
there-
what is Parrish.
Yeah, there is no Lydia characterization alongside Parrish because it's all about Parrish.
Mhm.
And I like, you know, I'm 24 years old. Rachel is also 24 years old, and I hate to be like, you know, when you guys get older.
I would never.
Yeah, but
like really, I would never.
but when you, I think, come to that threshold in your age, you come to realize that no sane person in your age demographic would ever go that low in terms of
Too many years. It's like
Yeah.
7 years.
And you're just a completely different. It's a completely different mindset. You're a completely different person. If one of my friends is like, "Oh, I'm dating like this high school girl," I'd be like, "You're not my fucking friend," because that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Especially
it was
because
just
it's 7
disturbing.
years lower than 24.
Yeah.
Like if Lydia was the 24-year-old and Parrish was like 31, that'd be millions
Yeah.
of worlds away.
But it's
so we're
not
not
that
saying
way.
it's just
Yeah.
the age difference. It's the age difference and where it places both of them
Yeah.
in their lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot about like the mindset that you're at certain ages in your life and like the way you interact with the world, just like because of the experiences that you've had. And like I can't stand that. Like,
Yeah. And there is a power
why?
balance. He's
Yeah, totally. He's
in a
cop.
position of authority over, you know, a girl who is still in high school, and it doesn't matter if Lydia doesn't act her age or she's basically almost done high school and it's legal. It's 18.
Lydia needs a man.
The fact
Scott
that
and
we-
Styles are boys.
It's still wildly inappropriate.
The fact
bottom
that
line.
the fandom as a whole had a huge debate about whether it was technically
Mhm.
legal should kind of
Yeah.
give you an idea about how close to not being okay it was. One, because if it was
Mhm.
legal, and two, Parrish, being an officer of the law, should know that
He
even
knows
if he
better.
was attracted to her, he should have
Yeah.
felt real bad about all of his
Sex dreams.
like the dreams. And that's the other thing
That's
that I think we
yeah,
have to talk about
disgusting.
as a huge problem
Mhm.
is
I think it's glamorizing it.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
the writers presented it, and like if they were the same age, and like Holland and Ryan are like a year apart, if that.
Holland's
So-
older than Ryan.
by a year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like
That's
if
the
they were the
problem.
same age and this was something that was like happening, I could maybe see how it's easy to like fall into that as interesting. They're both very attractive, but with everything else at play, like you can't do it,
Yeah.
and it's really
Mhm.
bad that the writers were willing to play into that for so long.
Mhm.
And again, it
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for Lydia's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of this remained in Parrish's head. And
Mhm.
it doesn't really serve a purpose. I
Yeah.
remember before, like, we got the really graphic dreams where, like, he ripped her shirt off and then she's, like, burning.
It's just violent. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's also
an
violent,
undertone
yeah.
of
A lot of it-
violence.
it's
underneath
lot of
it.
all the
it.
marriage scenes are creepy. Like the scene where even the scene where she finds him in the library, the music is like.
Yeah,
It's
it's horror
just-
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish one of the writers would have spoken up and been like, "Hey, maybe what we're writing like isn't necessarily
Yeah.
like needed or."
Well, and the fact that
appropriate,
Lydia's
and
entire
we have a young
plot-
audience.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like,
Because they could have done it where, you know, like the scene in 5B where he dreams of her warning him about someone being in danger in the
Didn't
woods.
have to be in the shower.
He didn't have to be remembering it in the shower. Like, it was so
Why
bizarre.
was he in a shower in the first place?
Because like he was daydreaming while driving.
He wasn't
that he was daydreaming Lydia in the shower. It was so
Someone
weird.
could have died on the road, by the way.
I think
Absolutely.
even when he like first hallucinates her and she's like, "Come back to me," and then she like touches his chest, like where his wounds are, like
Mhm.
it
She
leans
was
into
so
him.
pretty in that scene, though.
yeah, she does.
Her
look
makeup
good.
was on point.
But it still is like an undertone of something like darkly sexual mixed with violence, and
Yeah,
that's not okay with me.
for
Like
sure.
that, I think
No.
it just
like
kind of
if they had
glamorizes
just made
that.
it where he sort of has like visions of her because she's a banshee, which maybe in the supernatural world is like higher up on the hierarchy than a hellhound,
Yeah.
and she was sort of like an advisor, or I think Fuck Yeah Styles and Lydia has said like if she was like sort of a reaper where she can say like she can use her
Mhm.
senses to help him find things, find bodies, find souls to take back to the underworld.
Yeah.
That would have been a really interesting way to grow both their plot lines because it would advance Lydia's banshee mythology as well as, oh, what's Parrish? Well, he's something that has to do with death because he and Lydia, like, they're kind of working together. He goes into trances and she goes into
Yeah.
trances. They really could have made it a mythologically based, cool relationship.
But even the mythology didn't even
like,
match up. Like
no.
it just didn't make
Yeah,
sense. to me.
banshees are sometimes accompanied by hellhounds, but there's nothing that says the hellhounds wants to hump the banshee.
Mhm.
I read the Wikipedia pages that Jeff Davis has prepared.
I saw
We
the
know,
source myself.
we know
my
where
own
Jeff
two
Davis does
eyes.
his research. It's Wikipedia.
He said it in an interview out loud to someone.
Jeez, that's embarrassing.
Yikes.
No, but as you were saying, like Lydia's plot lines got demolished and pushed aside for Parrish, who didn't even end up being significant to the end, to the climax of the season. Like, he didn't matter at the end of the season.
And he didn't even rescue her really from Eichenhaus. Like, he
No.
protected her.
You could cut him
that, like,
completely
that
as a
hug
character,
thing.
and it wouldn't make
The
a
marriage
difference.
ship, like, that hug is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like,
The hug was awkward as fuck. All right.
it was awkward. And also the other thing is that, actually, you'll like this.
I know, VIB Rouge. Rosemary, VIB Rouge.
The other thing is about this is that I remember talking to my mom about this. I was like ranting. We're on some like 12-hour car trip or something, and I was ranting about marriage. As you do. We get like, she gets real at 5 a.m. you guys. Anyways, so I was like, oh yeah, but the actress is older. She was like on board the whole time, and then I go, oh, yeah, but the actress is like 30 and the actor's like 29, and my mom was like, oh, well then it doesn't matter. And I was like, woman, what? And she was like, well, I mean, like, the actors are so close in age. I was like, it doesn't matter because the character is a 17-year-old girl who the people who write the show specifically changed the age of and established that she was 18 a year earlier than she was supposed to be 18,
I mean, Teen Wolf,
just for this.
That's predatory.
Even the actors have like said that the Teen Wolf timeline is a little more than a little messed up because they were all technically driving at 15.
15, yeah. Styles was 15 when the series
but
started.
all of a sudden,
so was
like,
Lydia.
we hear that Lydia was held back in the 2nd grade. And it's like, there's no reason for you to talk about that unless it's, why did you guys make her be 18?
It's wrong. I think it's so unbelievably inappropriate to change a character's age to make it more okay for an older character to be having sex.
Because, like, I don't imagine they're going to have 18-year-old Lydia be buying lottery tickets and cigarettes in joy.
There's no reason. Her birthday was established to be March. She is still 17 in my book. I'm not going to.
She'll be turning 18 this year.
She will.
In senior year, not in junior year.
Yeah.
So if I was Sheriff Stilinski, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing with Lydia Martin? Like, I would have called that out. Anyways, but I'm not Sheriff Stilinski.
Yeah, so
unfortunately.
I thought you were this whole time.
My son Styles.
Oh, yeah, because that would be disgusting.
Yeah. So ultimately, with Stydia, there was romantic potential thrown away in limiting Lydia's character and limiting Malia's characterization, and with Marish, were not for any romantic relationship, but they could have had them be good friends or allies, and they threw that Lydia's characterization away so that they could kind of shoehorn in, like, will they, won't they? Like, ooh, they get to have all these sexy scenes together, but they're not real.
Honestly, the part, there's like a part of me that's like really grateful that Stylia wasn't better, because I never was threatened by Stylia. There isn't a single moment in the series where I was like, oh, this is like establishing on purpose that Styles cares more for Malia than he does Lydia. Like, it just didn't happen. Yeah. So I was never threatened by it.
Okay, so
right.
the last question is, how did you feel in the scene where Styles and Lydia woke up together? So in the 3A. Or not 3A, 3B.
How did I feel?
How did I feel? What emotion wasn't I feeling? I mean, maybe I wasn't feeling devastated until it was revealed that it was a dream.
Yeah, I didn't watch it live, but
yeah, I had one of those standing up on the couch moments when I watched it live.
I remember Corey talking about how she like lost it, and then when it went away, she was like, I'm done with Jeff Davis forever. And then she was like, that's the moment I got trusted. She was like, it was over for me.
Yeah, and even Dylan O'Brien, when he was talking about reading the script, I don't think he trusts Jeff Davis anymore either.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that happened.
So great.
He loved that.
He
like,
loved it. He talked about it in interviews, and he was just like, I love that scene. Remember, I have a video on my phone. I recorded it of him going, I think Styles dreams about Lydia every night. She's his love.
Yeah.
Like, she's his love.
So just in like that, hopefully that would be an amazing way to start 601. Sadly, I don't think
6B? 6B
maybe
parallel it and give it to us.
Yeah, 6B, 3B.
Oh,
Jeff Davis, I won't even charge you for that one. You can take
that
that
money.
money.
Obviously, Jeff Davis is watching this.
You can take that money to the bank and buy a big light bulb.
Light Tina Wolf. You get a light bulb. You get a light bulb. Everybody gets a light bulb.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
rammed
okay.
into you. I'm sorry. It's okay. I needed to just calculate wildly. Yeah. Is that not the right word?
Gesticulate?
Oh my god, I've been saying it wrong for so many years.
Oh my god.
All of Rachel's friends IRL.
Wow.
Why did you guys let me do that?
I feel like when I saw that Stydia scene, I just felt compressed. And like, gesticulate. Yeah. Stydia like makes me feel like I'm being squeezed in from all sides in like the most delicious way possible. Like I can't breathe. Like my heart is pounding. Like oh my god, amazing. I don't know. That's all I can describe for it.
So I think I don't remember anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that I thought that Styles and Lydia, before I started watching the show, were doing this like Everlark type thing where they just like slept in each other's beds like as friends, but like weren't hooking up. Like whenever I just
That would have been so good.
I felt like they had
couldn't
they had
sleep,
nightmares and couldn't sleep. So I really feel like I may have read a Stydia fanfic before I got to 3B where like they were doing that. Maybe I don't know, where they were like they couldn't sleep, so they would like call each other, and then like he just started like sleeping at her house all the time, and like it might have been, maybe we could be the start of something by what is it, Ninny Treetops? Anyways, I don't remember.
Okay.
It's a fanfic. It's really great. It's great. I thought they were doing an Everlark thing. I was sure that like they were waking up in the same bed together, and that like they were just friends, and like she was comforting him through his nightmares, and I was like so on board for that because I love that trope. And then it was a dream, and I was like,
it was only just a dream.
I was thinking about her, thinking about me.
Thinking about
If we could like pull together a massively beautiful harmony right now, then that would be like that would be great. Okay, and so I think that this concludes.
Wow. Thank you so much for sending in your questions.
Yeah,
and like giving us such good topics to discuss.
I'm surprised we got so many questions, but I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
it was
much
great.
appreciated.
Much obliged.
Yeah. So so you know where to find all of us on Tumblr.
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
we're also gonna try and Snapchat
Yes.
a lot of our antics. Continuing
Should we
tomorrow.
say our Snapchat name? Oh wait, am I the only one that doesn't have a Snapchat?
Yeah, mine is my URL.
Mine is my URL as well.
Mine is Mags, MAGGSAM, Banshee.
And then Rongasm, it's always Lydia.
It is always Lydia.
It is always Lydia.
It's
We're gonna
always Lydia.
find that out in season 6 for sure.
Totally.
All right.
How do I stop this? Bye guys. Thanks for tuning in.